queen of shit takes said this. And we're going to talk about her because, of course, this is in response to what's going on with this mandate shit, or her as Marvel star Evangeline Lilly, as what this chick that we're going to be talking about is. She was seen, of course, and outed herself being at this anti-vaccine mandate, not vaccine, anti-vaccine mandate kind of protest, say in DC. Of course, your typical access media types don't like that. And I've seen this heifer say some of the dumbest shit regarding takes in the entertainment space, and certainly in the political landscape and the social landscape. She's just as fucking retarded. Grace Randolph. God damn this heifer. He responds to this by saying, in a quote tweet, "Nobody is forcing anybody to get vaccinated." Yes, they are. Now, in some countries, it's really, really bad. Yes, they are. They are forcing you, and that force in some cases is by way of extortion. You cannot look at the concept of force throughout you can't look at it through a lens that only consists of them literally holding you down and forcefully injecting you. That is disingenuous, and she knows that. I don't think she's a retard, don't get me wrong, but I don't think she's that dumb. She knows what we're referring to. The force that you see in some of these areas is extortive. Like, okay, you can't do, even with your own property. So if you have a storefront, or you can't even do with your own property unless you do this. Be it get a vaccine, force your patrons to have vaccines and provide proof of it, that type of stuff. She says, but this is listen at how this is worded, and this is what the most evil pieces of garbage throughout history, this has been their line of thinking. It's like they're the aggressors. As if beating someone up and just over the head with something. They like to insist that they're the good guys out of this. Listen to how this is worded. But you can't force people to be around you if you refuse to get vaccinated and are a danger to them. What the fuck does that even mean, Kobe Bryant, in the words of Kanye? I read it again. Listen to how it's worded. But then you then can't force people to be around you if you refuse to get vaccinated and are a danger to them. It's worded bizarre, because you could say the same thing on the other foot, and guess what? You're forcing people around you to not be able to be unvaccinated. It's the same thing. I could literally switch that logic if that's what we're talking about, and that's the loose terminology of what we're talking about with force. Number one, though, nobody's forcing you to be around this person at all. Now, there may be a sphere where you run into this person that's unvaccinated. If they didn't tell you, you wouldn't fucking know in the first place. So it's not about them forcing you. You're like, forcing someone to be around you would be, again, me holding a gun like you guys do with the vaccination shit. Me either holding a gun up to your head or saying that you can't do what you want to do with your own property unless you are around me. That's what force would mean, but that's not what we're talking about here. On the other hand, it's a false statement and medical misinformation. Do you think this heifer's going to get docked for medical misinformation? You think Twitter's going to have some sort of little stupid box that says, get more information about COVID-19 at CDC.gov? No. What she referred to is medical misinformation. And that's the end where she says you are a danger to them when you're unvaccinated. How? How, Sway? Also in the words of Kanye. How? I don't know if you're still operating under this moronic idea, but the people that your crackhead ass probably listens to, the public health experts have long already stated, including the director herself, Rochelle Walensky said, this is basically a verbatim quote. What we do know now is that it doesn't prevent transmission. So explain to me what danger someone is opposing to you by being unvaccinated and being around you in the first place. Tell me, because you could just spread it. Explain that to me, Grace Randolph. How? So many people still running. This has been the basis for a lot of these vaccine mandates. And none of y'all have thought to ask these people how? How? This isn't like some conspiracy that we're talking about, guys. Their own handlers have conceded this. They've already conceded it. They've already said, hey, it doesn't prevent transmission. So the jab, you can still go around spreading the shit. So explain how someone's putting you in danger by being unvaccinated. You can't. You can't. You simply can't. You're just on autopilot. This is why folks call you guys NPCs. You're on a script. You have no idea how to deviate from that because you're just saying, well, this is what's happening. But it's not true. It's not, even by your own fucking handler's data, it's not true. Yet you're still saying it. What she said is literal misinformation. This isn't my opinion. This is literal misinformation. It's medical misinformation because she's insinuating somehow that the unvaccinated have the burden because they're the ones that put other people in danger regarding COVID. But they can put people in danger regarding COVID because they can spread it because it doesn't prevent transmission. Now, maybe traditionally vaccines had done that, but this one isn't. Again, not my opinion. It's just what's happening. Access media types, they all got the same opinions on virtually everything. Just look at whatever the authoritarian left narrative is, and you can best believe all of them believe in it. They'll never take a position deviating from it because their access depends on it. The only time they're going to ever switch is when public opinion changes. Now, once public opinion changes, which I think it will at some point, definitely as these alternatives rise and we say, you know what, who gives a fuck about what the fuck Marvel's doing? Let's go pay attention to something else. Once that shit happens, then their opinions will start to change. But right now, this is the most convenient and acceptable position. So they will defend it. Simple. Even if it's false. What Grace Randolph said was fucking retarded. You can tell I said it and feel free to tag me and feel free to take a video clip. And because I've called you a retard, Grace Randolph, I owe it to you to have a conversation with you, a cordial one, about you, about this, or have with, you know, in this regards with you, cordial. I won't call you a retard in our cordial conversation. I have absolutely no problem doing that. And if you want to have that conversation, Grace Randolph, I'm 100% up for it. Let's do it. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.